Hi. We're a bit behind schedule, so let's just dive right in today. Today, we're going to continue our discussion of the elements of design. We've talked about the use of space and light. And now, today, we're going to be focusing on the use of color. Color is a key part of the success of any project. And it's the most personal and emotional of all the elements. Every person has colors they like and don't like. But research has shown that there are patterns in the way people respond to color. Some of these responses are more physical, so that means more universal. And others are more learned. The research I'm talking about comes from many types of studies. Take, for example, physiological studies. Studies that look at how color affects body temperature, heart rate, brain activity, and emotional states. The Ch10 reading that I assigned you talks about this. In one of the articles, I assigned the use of space, some physiological and philosophical aspects. Ch10 states that the color of an environment can have a big effect on heart rate and emotional feeling. And he presents research to back up those ideas. For example, very bright colors, colors with a lot of intensity, especially red and yellow, tend to excite people more, while white or gray walls seem to cause the opposite reaction. They create a feeling of boredom or depression. According to Ch10, this is because they aren't stimulating colors for the eye and brain. Okay, now, Ch10 was talking about general human responses, physiological responses that most humans have. Physiological equal universal. There are also learned responses, responses to a color that you were taught by your culture. For example, colors you associate with holidays or your favorite sports team. Pink is for girls, blue is for boys, that kind of thing. People from the same culture often respond to colors in the same way. Now, researchers have studied these physiological and learned responses to color in many ways. They've studied things like how colors impact businesses like stores and restaurants, in terms of customer buying behavior and service satisfaction. And it turns out that this is very interesting. So, today, we're going to look at the impact of color. Some of the generalizations that we can make based on these studies, so that you can make good choices someday when you're planning different types of interior spaces. Okay, one thing to consider is the lightness or darkness, the value of a color. Let me give you an example. Let's look at the color wheel for a minute here. Okay, you've all seen one of these, I hope. Okay, well, you can see all the colors in varying degrees of lightness and darkness. Light red is pink. You see it there, right at the top? Okay, now follow that row down toward the center, and you'll see that dark red is the color we call burgundy. Pink and burgundy are part of the same color family, but are different values of red. You'll also notice another thing here. See how the dark colors like burgundy seem closer to the eye than lighter colors like pink? You can use this effect to change the appearance of space in a room or a hallway, for example. When used together, light and dark values, also called high contrast, can create a really dramatic effect. Colors close in value make the environment calmer. I'll show you some examples of this later. Let's move away from color value now and move on to look at the impact of color families. In other words, groups of colors that are near each other on the color wheel. Warm colors, like the red, orange, and yellow you see there in the top right areas. Those are stimulating and dynamic. So they are good for rooms where there will be a lot of activity. Or you want to encourage activity, like a child's playroom, for example. Warm colors also make a room feel physically warmer. In a letter to his brother, Vincent van Gogh said that yellow is wonderful because it stands for the sun. This may be a universal association. We associate this color with the sun, so it makes us feel warmer. These warm colors also tend to make people feel happier. To most people, they feel cozy and comfortable. Cool colors like blues, greens, and violets, there on the bottom left, those tend to be calming. They're associated with relaxation and activities that require deep thought. Be careful, though, because they can also feel depressing and heavy. Cool colors also seem to lower the physical temperature of a room. So, you need to use these colors carefully. Okay, now let's talk about color harmony. The way colors feel together. Now, color harmony can be difficult because most colors are not pure. They're not exact. Most people won't paint a room pure blue. They may mix blue with black to make navy blue, or they may mix it with purple to get royal blue. So most colors are actually a combination of colors. Now, in these mixtures, the dominant color is the main color we identify. The small amounts of other colors, or black, or white, or gray, that are mixed with a pure color, those are called the undertones. Identifying the nature of the undertones of a color is the first step to creating color harmony. Because generally speaking, different colors with similar undertones tend to harmonize the best. So let me explain. Usually we evaluate the undertones of colors by value, lightness or darkness, or intensity, purity or dullness, or by their warmth or coolness. If these undertones are similar in the different colors of a room, the room is more aesthetically pleasing, more comfortable. If different colors in a space have different undertones, they don't harmonize. They make a person feel uncomfortable. So undertones are very important. But you can decide how harmonious you want a space to be. Let's look at a couple of examples of harmony in action. Okay, well, the aesthetics of traditional Japanese interior design, like this room, say that all colors must be subtly harmonious, as we see here. Similar colors and similar color values. And that works well in this setting. But in another setting, like a lounge, for instance, bold combinations might be more appropriate. You see? You see, here there are big differences in color value and strong colors. Both of these designs are aesthetically pleasing and effective, depending on the purpose of the space and the aesthetics of the people who will use the space. Joseph Albers, an artist and teacher who studied and wrote a lot about color, he once said, and I quote, "In visual perception, a color is almost never seen as it really is, as it physically is." What Albers means is the color is seen differently depending on the surroundings. What other colors are close by, what light there is, color is whatever we make of it. Okay, I'll leave you with this thought because we're out of time, so we'll pick it up next time. All right? Thanks very much. Have a great day.